you guys what was in the box in the last video. Now it's time to let you guys know if this is worth your money. So over the next two videos, we're going to take these bad boys out of the box. I'm going to let you guys know how well they stack up against my 5 criteria for a great action figure. You guys remember what those are. Likeness, articulation, posability, durability, and accessories. So over the next two videos, we're going to see how well these 4 action figures stack up to that. We're going to split them up into 2s. We're going to keep Goku and Vegeta together and Gogeta and Broly together. And I will let you guys know what my final verdict is on the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie figures. Let's get started. Alright, so let's kick this thing off with the Saiyans that write the story for the franchise, Goku and Vegeta. So these are the 2 most iconic characters in the Dragon Ball franchise, Goku and Vegeta. It's always been about Goku, but then when they brought Vegeta along for the ride, it's really been all about the 2 of them. They had their moments where they throw Gohan, and they throw Gotenks, and they throw all the other characters into the mix to try to make them as big, but it really boils down to these 2, Goku and Vegeta, the 2 last Saiyans, or so we thought. I've been collecting their figures from the beginning. I have had the most cheap knockoff versions of these guys to the first official lines that were horribly made, but it was all that we had, so that's all that we got. I have seen these action figures evolve from some of the worst pieces of plastic, some of the most dynamic, articulating works of art that I have ever seen in an action figure. And these newest figures set the bar even higher than what they were doing before. So let's get these out of the box so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this guy was the one that everyone was after as far as a figure who has already come out. Because not only did we get our first Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, but they also stepped it up and gave us Super Saiyan Red or Super Saiyan God. He showed up for the first time in the Broly movie, and they obliged in the action figure by giving us that Super Saiyan Red head. So let's open this bad boy up and let's see what it's about. Alright, so here we go. The Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. We're going to take him out of there. And we're going to take a real good look at this guy. Now, the first thing that we have to do when reviewing these action figures is compare them to their cartoon counterparts. So with that, we have the question, does he look like Vegeta? And it is an astounding yes. From his face, down to his battle armor, down to his suit up under, everything about Vegeta is spot on. I mean, you cannot find a flaw in it. I mean, they did an amazing job representing Vegeta and giving him the look to look exactly like who he's supposed to look like. So for likeness, without question, this is a 5. I mean, we can stack this, put this side by side to any image of Vegeta in the Dragon Ball movie, and spot on, yeah, that's the same guy. You see it. Next, we're moving on to that articulation. How well does this figure move? Now, if you've ever had any SS figurine, you know that these figures have the best articulation in the business. They move and articulate at every joint. Not only do the wrists rotate like they used to with action figures back in the day, but the wrists actually hinge. They're hinging wrists, hinging elbows, rotating shoulders. Every single joint articulates with these figures, even down to the toe. The articulation is everywhere in these action figures. The head, the neck, and being that these are the 2.0 bodies, not only do they have the hinge here at their waist, they also have the hinge here in their torso. So they give even more posability as opposed to just having a waist hinge. And I'll be able to show you guys a better difference in that later on in the video. And now on to the big one, posability. If a figure has great articulation, then it should be highly posable. And I'm here to tell you that period, point blank, if it's a SS figurine, period, their posability is through the roof. And these new 2.0 model bodies are phenomenal. I mean, they give even more abilities to get into these iconic poses. From the Final Flash to the Gallic Gun, Big Bang Attack, all of Vegeta's iconic attacks, you can pose this figure in those positions because the articulating joints are that real on this figure. All right, and next up we have durability. So durability is a little bit different with these figures because of course you want a figure that can take a lick, take a drop, and I am confident that this figure is solid. Like, he is not hollow on the inside, he's solid inside through and through. I'm confident he can take a decent little drop and keep on going. The real durability question isn't as far as their internal build and how much of a hit they can take. Their real durability, especially in Vegeta's case, are their articulating joint spots. How durable are those spots? Because that's the piece you use to switch out between his two sets of arms. As well as the durability of the wrist joints. These little ball and socket joints, they are tiny, and these little balls, they're kind of fragile. They're not the most durable things in the world, so you always want to be careful when you're changing out hands, or especially on the neck, because the head and the neck, this one seems to be the most fragile of them all, trying to make sure that doesn't mess up when you change out the heads and switch out to different hands, different heads, and in the case of Vegeta, different arms. Those are the spots of durability that you want to be careful about, because if those little nodules break off, it's not the easiest thing in the world to repair. It takes a little bit more work than not to repair those. Now, like I said, accessories do not make the action figure. But when you have quality accessories to come with the figure, it just sets it on a whole nother level. And in the case of Vegeta, the fact that they gave us not just multiple faces for the Super Saiyan Blue, but an entire Super Saiyan God head with all the hands and arms, the accessories are through the roof on this figure, especially for the SS figurines. They don't do big on accessories. They're all sold separately, but all of this came in this package with this figure, which make it, bar none, one of the greatest deals that you can get on one of the SS figurine figures, because not many of them come with this many accessories. So they give you all the faces that you need with your Super Saiyan Blue. You got your base face, you have your angry face, and you have your yelling, screaming, powering up, whatever you want to call it, face. But all three of those faces interchange off of the head, and one of the things that they did with Vegeta that is new to me to these figures is the way that they've actually built in that face clip-on. Before, it was just your two nodes there to push into the figure, but now this part now has an indentation to where this can fit into it. So now you're not just getting the two up top to fit into the base of the head, but you actually have the base of the head that actually fits into the face, which makes a huge difference in making sure these faces stay on and don't fall off as easily as they used to. Because before, it was just those two nods at the top of the head, and it was a lot easier for those faces to fall out and not stay in place as well. But now that it has that three-prong system, it's a lot better put together. Better points on that durability scale for that right there. Now, before we get the final verdict on Vegeta, let's jump off his bandwagon for just a minute and take a look at my boy Goku.